want to look ahead to uh, Saturday or Saturday already passed. But we have been anticipating John Cena's retirement, and we are almost at that point where we're going to have John Cena and Gunther in the last match. And wrestling, of course, is notorious for fake retirements and, declines in people's wrestling ability and, the one more match paydays that tarnish some people's legacy. But this specific weekend feels a little different because we're watching the greatest of all time, arguably, try to execute the perfect retirement. But what does that actually look like? Does he have to lose to pass the torch? Does he need to fade away or go out in a blaze of glory? And I want to look at the history of like wrestling goodbyes from Shawn Michaels to Stone Cold and ask, can Cena actually stick the landing? So John Cena is wrestling his final match against Gunther. And of course, we know in wrestling, nothing's ever final. Wrestling has a terrible track record with final matches. Um, Chris, when you put the final 3 seconds of this broadcast, Saturday night's main event, what do you want to see? Is it Cena smiling with the belt or with his hand raised, or is it Cena on his back, hobbling to the back?
I mean, he's probably going to lose because I don't know if you watched the Joe Rogan Experience with John Cena that came out like a day ago or whatever it was. But it sounds like he's in this headspace of just like trying to give more than, because he used to be, I guess, a bit more selfish with certain things and he wanted things a certain way. But it seems like he's just completely changed his opinion and his overall philosophy, I guess. So I imagine Gunther's gonna win, and he's gonna be in the ring. But then everybody's gonna have the chance to give him the congratulations and all that stuff. It's gonna be like a long farewell. You know, he'll get up. He'll be waving. He'll be going to the crowd. He'll be doing the John Cena thing. He might say some stuff on a microphone, I imagine. Something like that.
Get cut off like Goldberg. cut the credits.
Yeah. But yeah, so something along those lines. He's for sure gonna have probably some saying after Gunther beats him. Maybe Gunther will. Maybe not. I was gonna say maybe he'll break kayfabe and start being himself and congratulating him or something. I bet you roster is gonna come out. At the end, congratulate him. Some kind of giant farewell party or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me emotional thinking about it.
Yeah.
Man, I can't really like I just can't realize that this is going to be his last match ever. And he seems like a guy that would stick to his word. And I thought about that with Shawn Michaels, but then he had that one match in Saudi Arabia. Uh, but David? What do you think? Like last 3 seconds, the final 3 seconds of this broadcast. What do you want to see?
Cena taps.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We go home. Nah. And then everybody, like Gunther gets his moment, he leaves. Everybody else comes out to thank you, Cena's, and happy ending.
Yeah, I mean, you saying tapping out is very interesting, and this is it's actually something I scheduled out probably that Friday, like the Friday before Saturday night's main event. Like Cena hasn't tapped since like 2004, and the last person
For
that
real?
made him tap was Kurt Angle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Damn.
he
Yeah, I
hasn't
guess
tapped.
that is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's got to be right. Like
He's
he hasn't
just a
tapped in
sexy
20.
Kurt.
Yeah, I'll
Cena
make your ankle hurt.
Cena was making a point on Rogan, essentially saying when he was trying to figure out who he should be as a character, he was saying he's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll do whatever you want me to go out there and dance. Like, I'll do that shit. And he was saying how some people are above that, but he was saying he was like, I don't care. I'll do anything, and I'll make it the best thing that I've ever done. You know, like giving it his all. You're just making a point of just living in the moment and just like giving everything into that very specific thing. So he was talking about them having that conversation on Rogan, and he just wanted to put all his attention there. So I imagine, you know, he's gonna make the match his best, and then he'll sell the shit out of that tap. You
I mean,
know,
he's been practicing his indie matches to go against someone like Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
Gunther's gonna kick
in
his
the
ass, dude.
dungeon. Cena's been in the dungeon. He's been making his rounds. It's been
He's
interesting to see.
gonna
Uh,
take the
yeah,
most amount of chops he's ever taken.
probably. I mean, it's his last match. He's probably going to go all out,
Chop forever.
chop forever. Yeah, I mean, his chest is going to look like ground beef by the time that match ends.
gonna bleed.
So, I mean, Andres, let me ask you this. We always say that, you know, or the industry says that you have to go out on your back, but as a fan, does watching like your hero, it could be Cena or whoever, does watching your hero lose actually feel like a good ending, or do you feel like that's just kind of like industry politics getting in the way of a happy moment?
No, I mean, I think as a fan, well, I mean, because I'm older now, but like, I guess as a fan, I think it still would be okay with them taking the loss, but like having the opponent be respectful of it as well. Like, I don't know if entirely I want to see Gunther like being Gunther about it. Like, kind of like how Stone Cold and The Rock, like when Stone Cold retired, like there was that moment where you see The Rock like thanking him like personally, and then kind of like leaving the ring immediately and letting Stone Cold have his moment. That's kind of
Right.
what I'm hoping for. And I think it's better to have not even so much as industry. But I think it's better to lose in the end. For some reason, I just feel it's better to go out and then just take the loss, take it all in, and then obviously have your goodbyes. If the locker room comes out or not, I don't know actually. I mean, I assume they would too. For him, obviously, Cena. I feel like there's going to be probably maybe a bigger thing at the end. I don't know, but
Give him
that's
like the
always
Bret
interesting.
Hart or Cody Rhodes treatment?
Yeah.
The Rock still has the soul, and he says you gotta wrestle some more, kid.
Right, exactly. That's their way out to extend it to WrestleMania. Um, well, David, let me ask you this because you've heard like, I'm sure you've seen like the arguments about Gunther is already a made man. He doesn't need this. You know, he's like is he the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, I think, at
Yeah.
this point? Yeah, so I mean, he's got all these accolades. He beat Goldberg, which is always funny to bring up. And like, I think that's probably one of my favorite segments. Was it this year or was it last year when he saw Bret Hart and he talked about how he liked Bill Goldberg?
It was earlier in the year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So let me ask you this. So a lot of people think that Gunther is already a made man. Do you feel like beating, you know, a 48-year-old John Cena elevates Gunther, or does he not even need this?
I think it elevates him. Like, he's still like he's still in the earlier half of his career, and it's like he's still like okay, he beat Goldberg, cool, but it's like Goldberg is Goldberg. John Cena's still a whole other level of champion.
And yeah, I
Like
mean,
yeah, like because yeah, I mean yeah, okay, Goldberg had what 4 or 5 years, well 4 or 5 great years, realistically 3,
right.
and then the rest was just an aura off. So it's just like, which is fine because that's what he became. But it's also like he doesn't have Cena's catalog. He doesn't need it. Bill Goldberg. But
Bill
you know,
Goldberg.
he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't have. He didn't do everything Cena did. Cena didn't do certain Goldberg things, but it's still important to beat both. It's like It's like if The Rock stopped at Hogan. It was like, oh, he doesn't have to beat Stone Cold. He already beat Hogan. No, he's allowed to beat Stone Cold.
I mean, yeah, to your point, Cena has like 20 years of a good career on like Goldberg. Like you said, I think Goldberg had a good
He's a
4
brand,
years.
which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine, and people identify with him as being like this badass, and they think he's a people. I mean, he is a WCW legend, of course, and retiring someone like that. I mean, yeah, that is a feat. But I think John Cena is a whole other level of wrestler to beat. Like having that on your cap as a cap. I mean, I would that could be Gunther's thing, like Jericho. Like I feel like he still talks about beating Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night
Yep.
for the undisputed championship. And probably I want Dominic Mysterio to do the same thing. I beat John Cena in his last PLE for the Intercontinental Championship, and he should say that until he retires himself. Like there's certain people that have that kind of power that you can use to elevate yourself, right?
Right.
So I agree with that. And I honestly don't know. I don't know who else could be in that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but I mean, I'm sure there were conversations between Cena, between Triple H, and everybody about who the last person should be. So
You said does Gunther get anything for beating a 48-year-old Cena? But
yeah,
he beat a 58-year-old Goldberg. So.
right, right. But I think because Goldberg, I feel like people just didn't treat it as sacred as John Cena's last
absolutely
match.
not. No.
You know what I mean? Because
No.
because Goldberg retired kind of like with
Yeah.
with Lesnar. They both like shat the bed on that. He came back, won some championships, kind of left, never officially retired, and then came back again, and then they gave him this like retirement match with not a lot of build up. It was a Saturday. It was Saturday night's main event, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Retirement
so
show.
yeah, so I mean, it's a different beast, I think.
It
So I
wasn't
feel
handled,
like
yeah.
so I think this. I mean, John Cena is WWE, so this is like just a whole different ball game. So I could see why people I could see why people have some issue with it, of course. Like I'm sure maybe there are other people that you could give the rub, but if we zoom out, I mean this is Cena's retirement year. So every match that he has, I feel like elevates some people. He had the Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam, which was amazing. It really was one of the matches of the year, and that was kind of a passing of the torch right there. Like that's an example of elevation. And we just had Dominic Mysterio at Survivor Series in his last PLE, beating John Cena. So I mean, like, it's not like he's not putting over younger talent, and that specific show is going to also have, which I think is great, NXT talent facing off with quote unquote main roster talent, like Cody Rhodes now versus Obafemi. I mean, that's going to be fucking crazy. I'm excited for that. Or Sol Ruka versus Bailey. I mean, what? Yes, please. Yes, please.
Goon Hour.
Yeah, Goon Hour. So look, Andres, let me ask you this. So a lot of people consider the perfect ending for like a retirement match, and they use Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker as the gold standard. And he was gone for 8 years until, of course, the Saudi Arabia match. But let me put that aside for a second. So Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. Why do you feel like up until that point was the HBK versus Taker considered the gold standard? Do you feel like it was that the match quality, like their series of matches, or we actually believed that he would stay retired?
It was just the build up for that. I mean, you had Mr. WrestleMania, you had The Undertaker, who are two icons of the company, and you had The Undertaker, who's undefeated, and I don't know if Shawn was like technically undefeated for WrestleMania at the time.
No,
But
he lost plenty.
He did. Okay, that's what I was wondering. But I mean, you had two icons basically well established, going for Shawn Michaels' last match, and he's saying if I can't win, I have no career or whatever and stuff. So I mean, that was to me probably the best perfect like retirement match because you had the biggest stage of them all. You had two of the biggest faces of the company. One's gonna go. That's the last time you're ever gonna see them. In their full ring gear facing each other for the last time ever. That to me was like perfect. Like, and then obviously, yeah, he came back later, but yeah, that was the gold standard, I would say, to this day. Like more than even Ric Flair's, his Shawn Michaels last match too at WrestleMania too. Like, and Shawn retiring him, and that was his hero and stuff. But no, I think Taker and Shawn was the best retirement match.
Does the fact that he came back for that one tag match in Saudi Arabia taint the memory of WrestleMania 26 for you, or do you just pretend that match never happened?
I kind of just pretend that match didn't happen because that was a really bad match. Like I was happy to see like, oh, DX is back, but they're so old now. It's like, it was just a bad match all around. Like
Your great uncle doing crotch chops.
Yep. Everyone's bald and shit. Like, everyone's yeah, dude, they look bad. When
Nobody has
they were
to
all
wear
when they
it
were like
anymore.
leaving the ring, they all look so bad. Like this
Ugh.
should have not happened. And people got hurt really bad.
Yeah, I mean they got fucking concussed. I feel like
Especially,
probably half
like,
of them don't remember the match.
Wrestling is like about protecting the character, and like what would these characters do? And there's an image and an aura, and then you just have this match, and it just feels like this weird fever dream, and you just shit the bed.
Yeah.
It's just like the worst thing you'd ever see any of them in. It's just like, ugh. I hope the money was worth it.
I think Shawn's lucky though to a point that it didn't really exactly tarnish his like other final match with the Undertaker because there's 4 people involved in this match, so they all kind of like sucked in their own way. So he doesn't take like the full blame,
Yeah, he
If the
definitely
match was
had.
like actually pretty decent and he was the only one that was doing really bad, then I'd be like, oh man, that makes you look really bad. Like maybe we should have done that, But everyone equally was not having a good time in that match, so.
In like Fortnite where you drink the armor and shit, like they have the life bars up. Like that
Yeah.
match probably knocked off a good chunk of that armor, so they're lucky. So because the rest
They're
of their
lucky, yeah.
matches added all that armor onto them,
Basically,
the
yeah,
rest of their
it's like, oh,
career.
Right.
So,
Had it not been like
yeah.
that, it would have been like we're playing Fortnite and then your PC crashes out and then you're kicked out and then the rest of the team's gonna carry you, right?
Right. Yep. Definitely not me.
No.
So yeah, I mean, like WrestleMania 26, I feel like was the gold standard for retirement matches. And I'm just gonna, pretend that tag match never happened. But like, I think the other case study of like Ric Flair, for example. So I think up until before 26, I think the perfect ending was WrestleMania 24 with the Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels match. He had the whole, I'm sorry, I love you moment. I mean, it was like picture perfect. If he actually retired, that would have been like the perfect ending. But of course, then Ric Flair went to TNA.
Like 3 weeks later.
Literally, I mean, if not weeks, then a month or a couple months. Like it wasn't even a whole year. And then he did Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view in 2022, which was scary to watch. And I think a lot of people were scared of that. So, David, let me ask you this. So Ric Flair kind of proves that danger of holding on too long. So at what point does a retirement tour to you become sad? Are we lucky that Cena's stopping now while he can still go? Or do you feel like he should have done this earlier? Do you feel like he could have done this in a year or two? What do you think?
I feel like the timing's probably good now because, like, when he turned into a part timer, like there'd be some matches where you're just like, oh, like, and then he's kind of been able to redeem himself with this tour, and yeah, like it'd probably be better now because he's probably like an injury away from not being able to perform the way he needs to. And also an injury away from just being like, no, I can't do this.
If he wrestles
He got a
again
new job.
If he wrestles again in 2 years for a Saudi payday, would it ruin this Saturday night's main event for you?
Probably.
Oh yeah. I mean, like because you just have this whole year of buildup, and then he's trying. You get every interview he's had, he's like standing on business. He's like, unlike some people like taking pot shots at like Flair or whoever. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it again, and then you do. Like, that'd be the worst one. That'd be worse than Flair or DX or anything. That'd be the literal worst, comeback imaginable for sure.
I will say though, Shawn Michaels coming back, there was a long time though before he actually had wrestled. So I don't know. Like, I guess there's like some forgiveness to that because it took a very long time for him to like between his actual.
I
like,
only
retirement.
forgive Stone Cold.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, he's even longer though because he retired in what
Right.
2018, right? Or no,
So
longer.
this kind of is a good segue because I want to ask you
2018,
about this next
WrestleMania
case
19,
study.
the 37,
37, yeah.
when Cody, or whichever one Cody came back at.
32, no, 33. 33? No, shit,
Cody
Jesus,
hasn't been
38,
back
38,
for 9 years.
38.
I don't know. Stone Cold's that guy that gets a pass for some reason. Like he's heel, people love him.
Fuck you,
Back in Wrestle,
cats.
He's people are just excited to see him in any capacity, really.
I mean, Steve Austin, I mean, that was one that I felt was also kind of unceremonious too. Like it wasn't this whole um
They didn't
thing,
do
which
that
is why we
then.
gave him a pass. What was that?
Yeah.
They didn't do that then.
Yeah.
This isn't something that they usually do.
It's a
Like-
it's a newer concept.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot more into it now.
So yeah, I mean, like you said, Austin retired quietly after he lost to The Rock, I think WrestleMania 19. And I don't think he said told anyone it was his last match, did he?
Rock.
And then he didn't return until WrestleMania 38 against Kevin Owens. So Chris, let me ask you this. Austin waited 19 years to wrestle again. Did you feel like his match with Kevin Owens hurt his legacy, or did you feel like it added to it because it was just kind of like harmless fun?
It was a cherry on top, kind of like how we were saying, like there was no like giant like send off or anything. I feel like when these guys were done, they were just decided that they were done, and then they would elaborate on interviews and stuff. So I think seeing him pop up, I mean, it was a pleasant surprise because there wasn't this buildup of like, yeah, I'm done. They're saying these things because it's like when they do that on camera, it's this. Now you're playing with the character now more, right? So now you're establishing this lore that, okay, in this current position, like I'm done, right? And they're saying this on camera, it's part of the story. And yeah, I don't think Stone Cold ever did that. So, him showing up at a WrestleMania is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that people just wanted to give him this like actual like period to the end of that story. I think it was. I mean, I think it just exceeded everyone's expectations. Going into that match because you don't know what to expect. He didn't wrestle for. I mean, he always showed up like he was a referee or a host, or he showed up to stun somebody in those 19 years. But to see him actually do it, and honestly we didn't even know like what this match or if it was going to be a match because it was just like the Kevin Owens show. And then we're like, okay, well, I guess he's showing up on some talk show at WrestleMania, and then it turns into a match. I mean, it was great. I think it was great because it was unexpected. Like people were hoping that it might turn into something like that, or he just gets stunned and that was it. And then it turned into this full-on match, and that was a pleasant surprise. And like you said, I think it's because, yeah, I mean, it wasn't as telegraphed his retirement. So just having this, it just gives a different dynamic to it. You look at it a different way. Well, Andres, let me ask you this. So do you feel like it's better to announce your retirement in advance, like a Cena or a Flair, or so we could have the opportunity to say goodbye? Like, all right, we know this is the deadline and we are going to take in as much of this as we can, or would you rather folks just disappear quietly like Austin, so we don't really have to see you decline?
I think it's more dependent on the wrestler, what he wants to do or she wants to do. I think, I don't know if there's really a hearsay to say which one is technically better, but I think it's better depending coming from the actual person who's going to be like hanging up their boots, as you would say. So, and I think with Cena, it's very much on his terms. And back when they were still doing those post like shows, and Cena was like, "No, I get to pretty much decide full reins of what I'm going to do and how we're going to go about it." Even Triple H said the same thing. I think it's a good way to go by, just how in your own terms of how you want to go about it. Otherwise, if you didn't have that option, then that's the Goldberg situation.
Right.
Oh, I got my retirement match, and then they cut off his final announcement or his final speech.
Yeah. I don't know if they uploaded it in full. I'm not sure.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they did.
But the fact
They
that
did.
the actual moment when it was on TV and they cut it off, like
Right. Because how many people went back to listen to it?
Exactly. I sure didn't.
It's like, you
Just
bum.
being honest,
Get off
no,
my
See
TV.
ya.
all right, go home, old man. But I
Get
don't
the
know.
broom.
I think it's always better on the wrestler's like choice of how they want to go out. I think it's better that way. So it doesn't really matter either quietly or bit of glory or whatever.
David, do you feel like this like Cena template? Do you feel like WWE is just going to start using this for all of their wrestlers? Do you feel like it's going to be the standard now?
Nah.
We're not going to
No,
have a last time is now CM Punk retirement tour or Jericho.
I'm sure Punk will, Jericho will in some type of way, but I don't think it's going to be something that they have all the dates planned out and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of like a safeguard for booking and episodic writing.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, of course, like Cena's movie career and all that kind of stuff.
Because, like, even, like, think about, like, all the times that Jericho got, like, written off whenever he took his breaks. It's kind of like he could have just retired right there. And
That's true.
yeah, and or like a lot of them went like they'll just take a loss and quietly just be like, yeah, that was it. Because like even like AJ Styles is saying he's done in a year. So then it's not. It's
Yeah, you're right.
we can't start rolling out the AJ Styles retirement tour shit, can we?
Man, I
mean, he probably can't because the Cena thing is sucking up the oxygen. So maybe people are like, we just had a retirement tour. I'm not doing this again.
I really want to hear Judas in a WWE setting so bad.
I honestly think it's going to be after Jericho shared that Break the Walls Down TikTok and he said you had to be there. I think he's doing Break the Walls Down.
He's doing the countdown, then Judas.
He's gonna do countdown.
That'd be cool.
Judas. That'd be
That'd be a cool mix.
He's gonna do a mashup of everything. I think Jericho's far beyond doing stuff that he used to do, other than like the Lionheart stuff that he did for a little bit. But
and you don't have to
Yeah,
pay
I
him
guess we'll
royalties, like technically, because it's his own music.
it's
That's true. I mean, his bandmates maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they probably get some cut or contract thing or
it's
something.
their only gold record. They're happy.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's some interesting facts to throw in. Terry Funk, I think, retired 6
98
times.
times.
98
Close
times.
enough.
He did.
The Undertaker retired, quote unquote, retired at WrestleMania 33. That's where he left his coat
Gloves.
and hat in the ring. I think gloves, and then came back the next year because he wasn't happy with the match quality. So Chris, let me ask you this: if do you think Cena will like leave something in the ring when he's done with his match? Maybe his never give up towel or
His jorts.
That's what I was
His
literally
George.
about to say. I was about to say, George.
just drops his pants.
You can't see me.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking-
Just walks back naked.
Just like the or the Grammys
The
or the
Oscars?
Oscars.
It was the Oscars.
Yeah.
In his brown tidy whities.
Just got a index card. Walks away.
Hang up the jorts, bro. Hang up those Kmart kicks. Hell yeah.
Yeah, or maybe he wears those pumps that he wore in the early or mid 2000s.
Man,
That'd be sick.
the
It's
faces
like the
of
basketball
Cena.
thing.
He's gonna have like Sting, but like somebody's gonna play like his like Thugonomics Cena, and then somebody's gonna play the prototype Chain Gang Cena, and then he's gonna be never
And then he's
give up
gonna
Cena.
fall off a ladder through.
Gunther's gonna
glass.
chop all of them for a spot.
Like
All
Three
four
Stooges. Eye pokes.
So you think he's leaving? You think he's leaving anything in the ring after he's done?
Probably his towel.
Yeah.
Towel.
It's gonna have something.
Throwing the literal towel in. And it's gonna say never give up. Or whatever the handkerchief thing is he walks around with.
They say I gave up.
I gave up.
Yeah,
Little
that's
white
what I
towel.
gave
He's gonna
up.
start like waving it while he's tapping out.
Wee. David, what do you think? What do you think? Is he leaving anything in the ring? You think it's the towel?
Towel, one of the armbands, one something.
I mean, the towel would
Like
be
a
the
rock.
perfect symbol.
The
Like I'm
jorts.
throwing in the towel for real. Jorts. I mean, it could go any way.
I mean, do you think he's leaving anything? Do you think like that's a thing that he would even be
He's
doing?
leaving John Cena metaphorically.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I think
Johnson.
like the towel, because you know the towel he comes in with like usually shows that he'll probably like have it. It'll be like a shot of it, and then that'll probably be it right there. Like that's it.
Yeah, because that's going straight to the museum. That's not going to no fan.
I can't imagine like the crowd too, how nuts they would go when he throws his armband in for the final time. Like, oh man.
I think he takes off his shoes, and then he takes
yeah.
off his jorts, and
Just
then he
the full
takes off
strip.
his
His cup.
armband.
Big Dick
And then just
Johnson
walks
comes
away.
out, gets the baby oil.
But I think you're
All
right.
the
It's
midgets he's
probably
brought out
too
over
old.
the years.
Yeah, he took a picture. He took a picture or showed a picture of. He did a Stone Cold Psycho picture with just the micro brawl, or what are they? Micro brawlers? What are they called? Is that the wrestling promotion? Micro brawlers or micro wrestlers? I don't remember.
Micro brawlers.
But he had the guy who impersonated him.
Oh,
with-
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena, but I think his name was Psycho. in his wrestling promotion, he did like the Stone Cold, like Steve Austin meme that everyone like just puts a face over, and he put Psycho's face on there. I don't know what that means. It must just be because he got a kick out of that classic wrestling segment
Maneuver.
where you bring out a little person like Bret Hart.
Well, you see, Hideo Kojima posted a photo.
I'm sure
of John
Cena's
Cena.
done it a couple times. I feel like he did. He had to.
Oh, for sure, he had that. I'm sure.
Still my story. Because Hideo Kojima posted a photo of John Cena like yesterday,
Oh, closet wrestling fan.
right?
Well, I guess not closet because he just shared it, but I'm sure he's a fan.
Or it was in his story, or it's gone now, I think. But yeah, I posted it and I was like, what?
Well, if you find it, share it, and then maybe I'll repost it on our thing.
Oh, my filter. Yeah, I'll show it to you later. I'll put
Yeah,
it in
just
the chat.
send a screenshot. But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of, you know, the perfect retirement, I mean, I do like this concept that, you know, he announces it and then you have this whole year, but I think I don't think it works for everyone. And I think for John Cena, he's a unique individual that really has transcended wrestling and was just a part of our lives for so long. And he was such like a transformative figure too, you know, like all the Make-A-Wishes, I mean, the movies and everything, like the fan events. I mean, it just transcends wrestling. So like this kind of retirement I thought was perfect for him. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, and I'm sure we'll all be having a box of tissues when it wraps up. But that's a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.